This is not the first time that this land has been troubled, that people were oppressed in this land. When the Crusaders entered into Jerusalem, they murdered over 30,000 people in a couple of days. And most of them were Muslims or Jews. 30,000 people. And they say that there was so much blood around Jerusalem and so many body parts and dead bodies that the horses couldn't move through the city. But what we have to be talking about, Ya Ibadullah, is how it was a test for the Muslims then, and how they overcame it, and how it is a test for the Muslims now, and how we have to overcome it. And it may not be what you think. It is very nice. No. It is wajib. It's something that we must do. We must organize. And we must have political action. We must. But don't be deceived. Don't think that that is where the victory comes from. That is not where the victory comes from. Don't forget, Nabi Musa alayhi salam was prohibited from entering into Palestine, even though he was a messenger, and even though he was a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of the disobedience of his people. He did not enter into Palestine because his people were unworthy of entering into Palestine. So he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be allowed to be buried right outside of it. And in the hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that it's just a stone's throw away from Palestine. And he said, if I were there, I would show you the red hills where he is buried. And don't forget that, Ya Ibadullah, that Palestine was occupied for almost a century, 100 years. And the Muslims did not hear the adhan in Jerusalem for almost 100 years. But alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised up someone who would yu'adhim, he magnified the sha'a'ir Allah, the symbols of Allah, starting with people. And I'm talking about Salahuddin al-Ayyubi. We glorify him and we read his history. But what I want to focus on, his spirituality. He was not given victory because of a large army. He was not given victory because of excessive strategies. He was given victory because he would not allow a Muslim into his army that did not know his fard ayn. He did not know what he was personally responsible for to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you could not be in his army. Your fard ayn. What is the difference between those things that are obligatory in wudu and those things that are sunnah in wudu? If you didn't know that, you could not be part of this noble army that took back Jerusalem. And he put them under a strict plan of disciplining the nafs. What would happen if Muslims today were to conquer Jerusalem, were to retake Jerusalem, and they don't have nafs that are purified? How would they be? Maybe they would be greater oppressors than the ones who are oppressing them. We have to give this some deep thought.